finally a shop day. Yeah, we got stuck out on the wreckers the past couple weeks. Today's Tuesday. I got sick yesterday, so anyway. Yeah, starting out a little late, but either way. So game plan for today, as we were talked about in the last video, me yammering on for 15 minutes, is the fuel tank. So, maybe be a little bit hard to see, but basically a fuel tank for this mammal is going to go in here, in this general area. Obviously I'm sitting where the cab would be normally, and then it's the back half of the truck, so we gotta basically build the tank to these goofy dimensions. Got the piece of steel there to do it. It is a 4x8 slice of 14 gauge, which is a little bit thinner than 1/8, but a little bit thicker than 16th. It's a good happy medium. I really like that gauge of steel. Yeah, it's a lot easier to weld. You don't blow through it as much. But that's our game plan. Basically, what we're going to do first, our maximum length, we got to measure that out just to make that sheet easier to deal with, which I think was like 60 inches or something like that. We'll cut it to that dimension, measure these angles, which should be 45, and kind of go from there. We're going to try to make it as much out of one piece as we can. I want very little welds on the bottom if we can help it, just because, well, fuel leaking is a problem. So, not doubting our welding capability, but the fewer welds, the better. So, we're going to start doing some measuring stuff and hopefully make a little bit of progress. Alright, so here's what we come up with. Top side of this cage measures out to 68 inches, absolute measurement. We're actually going to cut to 66 to give us a little bit of leeway, a little bit of wiggle room. Bottom measured out to I think 31, so we'll give ourselves an inch there. But we're going to cut the sheet to 66 right now, just make it a little more manageable. The other 2 foot or whatever we'll use for baffles or whatever else we need to put in there, because it will be baffled. Straight up and down between the bottom bar and top bar is about 20 and a half, 21 inches, somewhere in there. So we don't want more than 20 tall. That's our absolute height. And granted, it's going to be an oddball shape, but it is what it is. So what we're going to do is essentially clamp a piece of angle iron to this thing. We can get a straight cut. Cut it down to 66 and then do a bunch of other mathematication to try to make this happen. But anyway, we're going to jig this up and get it cut. Well, now we got our cut down a length of 66 to here, or long ways. We need to measure in 20 inches on each side, and that should give us 8 in the middle, because 48, 20, and 20 is 40 plus 8, which is 4 foot, which should be this, in theory. So we'll draw a line all the way down the middle, 20 inches on this side, 20 inches on that side, and that'll be our base. That'll be the middle section of the tank. From there, I gotta find dead center, which if it's 66, should be 33. I can measure out from there 15 inches, I believe, on each side, and that'll give us where the bottom of it's going to be. So we got our bow tie cut out. Basically, Ray's over there right now. The little pieces that came off of that we were going to use for our side, we learned were 2 inches too short. No big deal. We have plenty of extra. But we are going to use those as the in-tank baffles. So yay. So he's cleaning those up right now. I'm going to poke some holes in them and figure out where we're going to put them. Until then, I got to figure out how in the world to bend all this accurately. A couple of, yeah, without a brake because we don't have one. So we're going to figure that out and go from there. So we got a little bow tie here all cut out, and we just put a piece of angle iron in here. Cut half. What I basically do is cut halfway through it on the line here. We bent it over by hand. We got to this point. So what we're going to do next, we're going to fire up the gas torch here, really heat it up, and just get the rest of the bend over. It's about, I don't know, 75 degrees now. We want it true 90. Let me get the fire. I hate So that's what we got going on, but this will be the basic shape of it. It's kind of a goofy looking thing, but you know, whatever. So yeah, we're going to throw the torches to it and hopefully get bent up the rest of the way. That's the game plan. See what happens. Yeah, it's on to do wavy things. Almost have to be standing in the frame. I'm gonna give it a nudge. You got the basic shape built. There's a little piece here in the middle. We got 2 of those. Those are our baffles. We're gonna go ahead and set up our distance, how far back and forth we want them, or how wide apart we want these things. Keeping in mind the float and the fuel pumps and everything else that has to go in here. We need at least about 11 inches for the float because it's 20 inch high. Blah blah blah. We need at least 11 inches for the for float movement. So we got to factor all that in. Alright, so end of the day. I'm getting ready to pack it up, go on home. Got our remaining sheet here, did a bunch of drawing on it, whatever. We do that. We just find something and draw on it. Anyway, so there's a tank, got our baffles in it. We'll come back tomorrow and do the sides. Whoa, get you down here. We're gonna do the sides here. I can't really see too well. We'll get those on. We actually test fitted. We gotta trim this down about a 1 inch. I think it's on. We're going to trim it down about 1 inch, just because when we test fit it is real close. Then we're going to go ahead and work on doing the top and basically putting a sending unit together. Pumps will be on one drop-in unit, the float and everything will be on its own system. It's kind of what we're thinking. So, until tomorrow. So, another day in the shop. Kinda. It's later in the day. We could trapped out in the trucks once again and was doing record things. Anyway, finally made it here. Today's objective, I'm not going to be here long just because it's later in the day. You got to trim the height of this down 1 inch on each side and basically cut out the panels to go here on the actual sides. We're going to stop here. It is getting kind of late. It's getting a little on the dark side. It is Valentine's Day. Need I say more? Until tomorrow. Alright, so we got a new day in the shop. Yesterday we went ahead, we had to fix one of the trucks. Ray's truck in particular, the wheel lift system on it was wore out. Plan on changing the bushing in it and whatnot in the pin, but as we got into it, we found more. Plans are made, adapted, overcome. Truck's back in service, tried it out this morning, does freaking awesome. So with that being said, we're back on the crawler tank. Based where I'm at, I'm gonna cut out the side pieces now. Hopefully, I'll get them at least tacked in today. Hopefully welded. We did talk about putting a couple more baffles in it, so I think we're gonna try to get that done too. So yeah, I'm gonna get out my road cone outfit and get to cutting. All right, we're all jigged up. Got our piece of angle iron on here. Cut a straight line, then cut that end off. And yeah, like I said, hopefully I have 2 of these done here shortly. So now we got 2 pieces cut out for our sides here. I get the other one tacked in, just as more experimental. We don't use the MIG that often, to be honest with you. We do a lot of structural stuff, so we're usually playing with the arc welder. But I just spent about an hour and a half messing with that silly thing, finding the right settings and how to fix the air feed in the gun itself and all that other fun stuff. So, but what we're gonna do now is basically fit the side plate up here, throw about 10 tacks, and kind of go from there. The other thing I had to do when we bent this, it wasn't completely 90, it was kind of rounded, so I had to fix that, which, you know, big 2-inch, I say big, a little chunk of 2x2 solid stock, and a small sledge, just real light, just tap tap tap, but it's got the flat edge on it, so it made it nice and smooth. Anyway, so that's what's going on now. I'm gonna put that plate on and yay. Alright, we got the tank all tacked in. I'd say about 10 or 12 tack welds. All I gotta do now is make it all one solid piece of metal. So, I'm just gonna go ahead and cook on this for the last little bit of the day. But I'm awesome, man. You get to hang out with the welder. Get a perimeter welded, finally, yay, that's done. I'm looking forward to this for a while. I haven't welded across the bottom yet, just haven't. I'll get to that probably next week. It is Friday though, so unfortunately that's all we got for the week. Next week I kind of want to finish this up. It's kind of hot, I don't feel like moving it. Well, it's not hot down there. Let's do this. So we got our baffle right here. I know it's a little hard to see, but no, there it is. So we got our baffle here. I'm probably going to put another set of baffles up here somewhere. Just little pieces coming out or attached to the sides. Add some structure and whatnot. I mean, but that'll be a next week thing. For this week, I think we're gonna call it a wrap. Can't think loud. Well, it's been a long week, to say the least. I said we had a truck go down. We had to fix it. Is what it is. I mean, anyone that owns, you know, a fleet of trucks knows how that goes. It happens. Nothing you can do. Equipment breaks, gets wore out. So, but like I said, we get that done. We got most of this tank built, or most of the base of this tank built. So, progress. Like I said, I'd really like to get the whole thing perimeter welded by the end of next week. So anyway, we appreciate you watching. I know you haven't seen Ray much this video. He's actually here, but he's out doing other stuff. He messed with the truck he just bought. But yeah, until Monday, no, until next week, we appreciate you watching. Subscribe, like, share, do all that other fun stuff. Just do it. I know you got nothing better to do. Just hit that button. Yeah, just hit it. Helps us out a lot. Anyway, guys, next week.